I think the first thing we have to do is embrace living. We have to decide to move ahead, which has to be a conscious choice, given what we know now. It's enough to stop us in our tracks. And I think we also immediately need to know that we realize that as we're moving ahead and choosing to live on the planet, that we're in relationship. So first we need to look around at how our actions and words and thoughts are affecting our loved ones, and then how they're affecting all the little beings in the world, and how they're affecting the infirm and the frail, and other beings, and then of course how our choice to move forward is affecting all other species. And so once we've taken that into account, it's probably enough to make us stop and get in our tracks and say, how do I do this? Because I haven't been consciously choosing this wholehearted path before. So I think, so stopping is good. So already twice I've said that we should stop. Stopping to listen to something deeper within ourselves than possibly we've heard before. And that will inform us in terms of moving forward, that will inform us in a different way. So basically we need to change the entire paradigm of how we as humans we as a society have been living on the earth. But to bring it back home, I think we simply need to reckon with the destruction that we've created and the catalyzing of beauty that we can continue to create. But we have to first say, how did I get here? And then how can I undo that and move forward in a mindful way? So I also don't think we have the tools to do that. Most human beings don't have those tools. And so we do need to learn to find the teachers. We need to learn to find teachers in beings, in other beings who we may not see as teachers immediately. We need to learn to see the earth and all its species as teachers. So basically, we just need to learn to listen to a wisdom that we're also not used to hearing. And then we pass that information on to others, we lead others, we are inspired by others, and we work together. So again, we need to just start moving together as more of a global we instead of a global collection of I's. And I think before we move into the positive, we have to I think one thing we have never done as a species is embrace the grief of how deeply, the grief of destruction and of death. And we have not really taken a look at how do we sit with the grief of climate change? How do we sit with what we've done? How do we stay with that pain? And I think another answer for us is to sit so deeply with the pain and with the grief that we walk through it. But I don't, as a society, as a culture, as a species, we haven't ever had to do that. So I'm intrigued in us facing that test, because I do believe that beyond that grief, there is something completely new that will inform us as we move forward, and will affect, it will change everything, actually. I think that's it.